So wasn't it only crazy preppers that said you should have cash for emergencies? Wasn't it only that drug dealers needed cash? Well, apparently not so much. European Central Bank urges Europeans keep cash at home. Okay, let's see what that's about. But there's always going to be a little twist that you need to be aware of. So stay until the end of this video. Guys, as always, welcome to the Immersive Survivalist channel. If you want to learn more about realistic survival and preparedness, that's what I've been doing for a long time. You have a ton of information here already that's available using the search function in the channel. You have, of course, my books, Street Survival Skills, and of course, Surviving the Economic Collapse. Both of these super relevant, giving everything that's happening all over the world, especially the economic aspect of preparedness, surviving the economic collapse. And even here in both of these books, I actually say, yes, of course, you do need cash. You should have cash for emergencies. Now, that's something that the European Central Bank is agreeing with. But what context and how much is it that you should have? Okay, keeping more cash at home to pay essentials during crisis. All right. Keep calm and carry cash. I have to read that one. All right. That's Russia, COVID. You don't say. Oh, $100 per person. Sweden advises keeping enough cash for at least 1 week of food, fuel, and medicines. Oh, alrighty then. Then it's not gonna be $100 because I don't know what you pay for stuff wherever you are, but I'm telling you that $100 in euros or dollars or any, unless it's $100 of silver eagles, right? Unless it's that, you're not gonna go anywhere with $100. During Spain and Portugal power outage, shop had to pay in cash only. Okay. Like a spare tire. Alright. Okay, so it's a spare tire kind of deal. So it is very interesting to see the contradiction and the conflict of interest, because on one hand we have these same, I mean, this is the European Central Bank. Any bank anywhere is pretty much part of the evil, sinister, globalist system that wants to enslave people. I'm not saying anything you should not, I mean, if you don't know this already, this is not a conspiracy theory. It is who really runs the world, and it's usually going to be, the financial systems and those that own the financial system. And they have a very clear agenda of getting rid of cash. Why? Because that means you are now completely enslaved. I mean, you're already a little bit of a slave, or a lot, depending on how sad you want to get, because these bills, these pieces of paper, you don't print them. Oh no, but it's the central bank. Okay, who the hell owns the bank? Who the hell owns the bank that prints money for themselves? Oh, because that's not public, that's not from all of us, those are private corporations. So these private citizens, wherever nationality they happen to be, these private citizens have the privilege of printing money for themselves. No, it's not for themselves, it's for their banks. Okay, it's the same thing. People, special people, the elite, print money for themselves. And then they allow us slaves and peasants to use their printed cash, their fiat currencies. Now, the absolute complete dominion over the souls of everyone is you don't even have the liberty of using a piece of paper, because it's not just that you're using the piece of paper that they make. No, now they want to control directly what you're purchasing with that. Not having these pieces of paper changing hands and not having complete and absolute control about every aspect of your life. That's going to be the cashless society. So on one hand we have this, but on the other hand we have the very real problem of people getting pissed and maybe starting a revolt. And that's what happens when there's a disaster, when there's an emergency, and people don't have any cash at all, right? How do I survive right now? Am I going to get pissed My kids are going to starve because they cannot afford food. I'm going to be cold because I cannot afford fuel in winter. I'm going to go without water because I cannot afford buying bottled water and there's problems with it. What am I going to do? So, on one hand, survival and preparedness is a very real thing. That's what I do here, right? And I'm telling you, you definitely need cash, but they don't want you to have too much freedom. So, $100. That is not realistic. The number is the following. Check the average wage wherever you happen to be. That's going to be pretty much what you need for an individual to stay alive for about a month or so, right? Average wage in whatever country you are. I'm like super poor. Okay, minimal wage. You like that better? Go with minimal wage or average wage, depending on your financial situation and the kind of expenses you have. That number will give you a pretty broad idea of how much cash one person needs to survive for a month. You need a couple $1,000. You need $3,000. You need $10,000. It's going to depend on you and where you happen to be living and the cost of living. But that's pretty much the number you're going to look at. And at least a month of expenses is what I recommend having. You can have a couple, even better. In fact, if you buy my books, which I recommend you do, especially in this one, Street Survival Skills, I explain that the number should be enough money to maybe survive for a month, maybe survive for a couple months, maybe buy plane tickets for every family member to your potential bug out location. That's a number I would be pretty happy with. And if we can have 6 months or even a year of cash, that would be pretty much a nice position to be in. That's going to be up to you and your budget. Guys, see you next time. Have a great day.